Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. In this video I have another new Vancouver feature for you, and it has to do with banner notifications in the next experience in Vancouver, or ServiceNow's Vancouver release. So what I'm referencing, if you go to the Vancouver release notes, there's actually a section for next experience release notes. And in that section, there is some changes to how you can configure banner announcements to be made non-dismissible. That's not all there is. There's actually a couple other features if I expand it to everything there. Several new options have been added for making things not dismissible by controlling whether they stack or not, and then controlling the alignment of the content. Is it left aligned, centered, or right aligned? They call it start, centered, and end aligned in their settings. But I want to show you what that looks like. I really haven't played around with banner announcements until I saw this release with Vancouver, and I was like, oh, okay, this is getting interesting. I think I may have messed with it before, but I've got 3 of them stacked up here, and I'm controlling whether they're visible using the end date. Notice there is no active field for these banner announcements, so I'm controlling whether you see them or not using this end state. Let's open up the first one. This is the test my first banner. I'm going to point out some things I noticed while I was setting this up. Number 1, you've got a heading and a summary, so I found that helpful. Also, you've got a start and end date. Again, I'm using the end date to control whether that's visible or not. So let's go ahead and widen this up to make it visible. We'll set it to the 22nd. I can specify a color, but weirdly, I don't see the color. I see text of critical, high, warning, moderate, positive, low, but the field says color, so I was a bit confused on this, but I left as info. Notice I can also select an icon for these announcements, so if I click the magnifying glass there, we have over 1,280 system icons to choose from. Let's just go to the very end there. Let's go to record number 1,000. You can see all kinds of little icons to choose from. I chose for this one the activity outline, which is like a little heartbeat thing. You can specify a tooltip for it. You can add a link, which I did to, of course, my website, Justin's House, and then control whether that opens in the same window or a new tab. And then here's that content position. They've got start, center, and end. Just think left, middle, and right aligned, or left, centered, and right aligned. If you're thinking like HTML or paragraph alignment. And then here's the other 2 new options for non-dismissible, non-stackable. So this particular one, I'm making it non-dismissible and it won't stack. It's going to show for all users. And something that my banner didn't work right away until I associated a configuration with it. So you have to come in here and hit the new button and specify a configuration. When you do these, I'll go ahead and open it up. Yeah, we'll leave. We'll change the date later. There's only one for me to select from, which was Unified Navigation. So I'm guessing you can make some new banner announcement configurations in the next experience. I'm going to stick with out of the box because that's simple, and I just left that there to show for that one. Then my banner showed up. So let's go ahead and get this first one to show up. Let's change the date and hit save, and you're going to see how that behaves. So right away, info equals blue, I guess. I'm colorblind, so I'm going to guess that's like a light blue. But notice at the top there, I've got my test, my first banner. There's a first time for everything. It's non-dismissible, non-stackable. And here's that link that I specified right here to add a link. All those configurations, they show up on the very, very right-hand side. So no configuration options around placement for that link, but when I do click it, it does open in a new tab. And of course, that's my website. So if you haven't seen my website, go check it out. Type in justin.house into your browser and you get access to all my videos. And that's the end of that ad. All right, so that's the first one. I did have 2 other lined up for you. Next, we're gonna set one up that's dismissible, stackable, and centered. So it will have an X so we can dismiss it. It'll allow it to stack. And I changed the color on it from info to warning. That's the only differences there, and I didn't add a link on this one, so everything else is the same. Let's go ahead and change the date, hit that, and we'll hit update, and now you get to see what that one looks like. So it is centered. I used a beaker for my graphic there, or my icon, playing with some new settings, and here's the X button up here if I wanted to dismiss this notification. I don't, because I want to show you one more. Let's show what it looks like when it stacks. So I've got one here that is dismissible and stackable, and we've already done info. Let's do positive. Let's see what the positive color is, and just for demo purposes, we'll open this up and hit update, and we should see, okay, so now I've got a right aligned, I've got my another dismissible and stackable notification, but end aligned, or right aligned as I'm going to call it. And there's my link. That one actually did have a link. If I go ahead and click on it, I did specify a link to Google on that one. I keep drawing weird on the page here, thinking my square is there, but there's my link for Google. So it showed up right there in the upper right, and it is dismissible and stackable. So when they say stackable, you can kind of expand them to show all of them. And then if you want to get rid of them, I can dismiss them like that. So that is it. That's the new features for Vancouver when it comes to banner notifications in the next experience. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in posting informational banners in their ServiceNow instance. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.